Hello, I'm Diane, welcome to my channel, and today I'm going to be making my husband's hoodie, which I mentioned in a previous video. I'm going to be making this as a sew along, and it's from Burda magazine, December 2020. So if you have this magazine, you could sew along with me today. So the hoodie I'm going to be making is this one here, and there's always also a children's version, so that's really cute if you wanted to do a matching set. So I'm going to be making this, and I'm making it in a denim blue sweatshirting fabric and a mint green. So I've cut out all my pieces and I'm going to share those with you now. So if you wish, you could follow along with the steps. So here are some of our pieces. So here we have piece number one. This one is the front, and this is cut on the fold. And then we have the back, very similar in shape. And this one is also cut on the fold here. Whoops, stand that up, out of the way. And then we've got our sleeve piece. So this is in my contrasting colour, so this is in my mint green fabric. So we've got two sleeves, so that's piece number three. We've got these two pieces for the hood, again in the main colour for the body. And then also for the hood, you have this strip for the back, and this is cut on a fold as well, and that goes in the centre. Then we have a pocket piece for the front, and this is cut on the fold here. And then on the pattern in the magazine, it just has some binding here on the cuffs, or you could use this contrast fabric to make your binding, but my husband would prefer a deep cuff, so what I'm doing is I'm actually making proper cuffs for mine. So I'll be taking a little bit off the sleeve and doing it as a proper cuff for him rather than just a bound one. So those are our pieces. So what I'm going to do is, for most of them, I'm going to overlock round them, apart from where the sleeve joins the body. Yeah, so around my raw edges now, I'm going to do some overlocking around each of my pieces, all apart from the top of the sleeve head here, because I will probably do that all in one piece once it's finished and once I've tried it on and I know it fits perfectly. Also, you want to use a stretch stitch throughout for this because it's stretchy sweatshirting fabric. Use a ballpoint or stretch needle if you are making this top. You can also put some sort of finishing tape around your pocket if you wish, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to overlock it and then stitch it down. So I'm going to overlock around all my pieces before I begin and make sure that all my markings, so you have markings where the sleeve meets here, and also in a couple of places, pocket, centre, front, you want to make a mark there as well, so you know you get it exactly centre, and you will mark a centre point on your hoodie top as well. There aren't a lot of instructions in the Burda patterns, so if you're making something from a Burda magazine for the first time, you always want to try something simple till you've got the hang of it. This is a hoodie, so it's pretty straightforward anyway. I hope this is helpful and that you can join in. So this centre piece wants to be pinned in between your two hoodie pieces here. So all the way around that curve down to the bottom there. So if you pin that in first, what I'm going to do is I'm going to overlock mine in. So because this is in the back of the hood, I don't want lots of bulky seams. So the seam allowance that you've added, so that was a bit that was around your pieces. So as you could see on mine, I've allowed my seam allowance there on the outside because Burda patterns don't have seam allowances. You have to add them on yourself. So if you pin that around that central back hood piece, and then if you want, you could do the same as me. You could zigzag it if you wanted. You could trim away and zigzag it. So that's one side on like that, look. And then with the right sides together, you'll pin the other side on. So there's the front of my hood there. Just pin that all the way around. So here I've got my pocket piece, and I've marked the centre of my front here and here. And also bear in mind how much of a hem you're going to be having and how far away from the bottom you want it to sit, because this can be a personal preference. You might want it a little bit higher than it is on the pattern. So I want mine about there. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pin it on, then I'm going to turn these edges under and stitch it in place. just make sure it's secure. So it doesn't move around too much. Oh yeah, don't sew down these side parts because obviously that's where you want to put your hand in. So either top stitch that or hand stitch it back. So those are left open, so you're stitching along the top and along the bottom here. You want to do 2 lines of stitching as well to make it secure and to make it look a bit neater. I'm going to stitch my shoulders now. Now I'm joining the centre 2 front pieces of the hood together, just here. And then around the front of your hood, you're going to want to finish it. So you probably want to overlock it or zigzag it again around here, or you might want to do a twin needle and stitch it back. So decide how you want to finish that, because that is the front of your hood then. Then we're going to attach it to the body. So now you're going to line up your hood with your neckline. So if you mark a little notch centre front and centre back, and then line up the centre back of your hood and the centre front, and then you've got a marking here and here for your shoulder seams. Pin it in place, then we're going to stitch that down now. Now sew up your side seams. Now stitch the side seams of your sleeves, but what I've done is I've taken a chunk off the bottom of my sleeve because I'm going to be adding a cuff. So this is going to be stitched lengthways like this and then turned through to create a cuff. I'll show you that in a minute. So that's going to have that cuff on the bottom of my sleeve, so I did need to take a bit off. So what I'll do is I'm going to make it up, try it on my husband and just check that it's okay for him before I finish off the seam on the inside. Stitch down this side like this, look, long side, folded in half. Then when you've done that, turn it through halfway like this, and you can stitch it around your top. Now you might want to try that on whoever you're making it for at this point to make sure that that's okay. If you're adding a cuff, you need your sleeve inside out and your cuff the right way. Pop it inside like that and line up your seam here and open up your sleeve seam. And you also want to find your halfway point here, mark it in some way, and the same on your sleeve. Right, to put your sleeves in, have your hoodie the wrong way around and your sleeve the right way around like this. Put your sleeve inside, make sure you've got the right side, matching up your notches. So right side's facing. This is the bit for the top of my shoulder. Open up your shoulder here and pin that in place. And your underarm seam. Here. So we're all finished now. I'll take some pictures of this. It's the hood. And I will try and convince my husband now to have a little bit of footage with him in it without his head in the shot, because he doesn't want to be on YouTube. On the cuffs. So I'll take some images, I'll take some photographs on the mannequin and try and get my husband to model it. He may not do though. So do you want to just turn around, love? So I really enjoyed making that, and I think I'll make it again. I hope that was useful, and let me know if you've made something similar, or if you're planning on making this. Maybe you've got this magazine lying around at home. I hope to be back soon with another make for you. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this, and thank you so much for watching. Bye for now.